Now, going into best performance. Okay, so one thing, I got it right. Mads Mikkelsen won. We wanted Ashley Birch to win this, but Mads Mikkelsen did win this. Now, let's talk about something about the best performance. Is that it was totally skipped over. You remember this?
Yes, I do.
Like, it was one of those things where, like...
It was like they announced it the same way they announced, like, esports stuff.
Yeah, like all the esports things. Like, a best esports player is this guy.
Yeah, they get that one favorite esports player.
Yeah. Oh, it's that guy.
Like,
Hooray.
he got to go up on stage and make a speech, but best performance didn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it was just like, oh, let's talk about best indie game. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, let's talk about best performance. It's this guy. Oh, let's talk about best shooter game. Oh, it's this guy. And here's the problem. And a lot of people had problem with Geoff Keighley kind of skipping over best performance, that if the whole point of the Game Awards is to put a serious light on video games, then you don't skip over one of the most important parts about video games is actors performing.
Yeah.
Like giving their
That's
heart
not going
out.
to help people take this seriously if you're skipping over the people who make the game a game.
Like, that's the thing, is that, like, it was just skimmed over and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, what does that say about...
And this is my thing with the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Is that this thing was 3 hours long.
It was 3 hours, and yet they
most
skipped
of
this
it
over.
was announcements and trailers.
Mm-hmm.
But they skipped over like 3/4 of the awards.
Yeah.
And so, like, my thing is, like, if this is an award show, if you're going to call it the Game Awards, you have to put the awards first. They are the most important.
Yeah.
And then you do the trailers and things like that.
Right.
Like, we get trailers and announcements at E3. The Game Awards are for the awards. We want to see people winning their awards and accepting them, and we watch it for an award show. You don't see trailers and things like that at the Oscars. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's those things that it's like, that those things would help people take this more seriously if the Game Awards took it seriously.
The last thing I'll say about this before we move on, because I'm kind of running out of time on this section.
Yeah.
I still want to talk about Game of the Year. If the Game Awards are supposed to be a celebration of the year past, why are we celebrating more of the future? Because all of these, like you said, it felt like 3/4 of this was trailers for 2020 games, and it felt like more of a celebration of what's to come than what has been past.
Like, I think we maybe saw 6 awards physically given.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's an exaggeration, but you know,
but that's how it feels, because I only remember trailers. Like, we didn't even need to watch half of this.
Trailers and announcements and commercials, and it was just like
bands that didn't really serve too big of a purpose.
We watched Beat 'em Ups' live stream.
Yeah.
And he had a great point when he was watching Green Day. He's like, it's not that I don't like Green Day, is that that's not what I'm here for.
That's not what I tuned in for.
I didn't tune in for a concert. I tuned in for the video games. And that's the thing, like you said, it's 3 hours.
Like, do you know how much shorter this thing could be if they just did the awards?
Yeah, and I think that should have been it. Is that maybe throw in some trailers now and again.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be 3 hours long. They could literally, if they wanted to, they could do this whole thing in an hour and a half.
But like the fact that they skipped this over, performance, actors, like the people who put emotions behind it, like really tells you where the priorities are. And that kind of upset me a lot.